My next stop was New York to meet a group of athletes. They're the sort of people who, as a matter of course, push their bodies to the limits. And in this case, technology too. They've each lost a leg, but they've been able to replace it with a high-tech masterpiece.
This is the foot that I run on. Gives me more energy while I run, and it's a lot lighter, you know, so I could run more long distance at a better time.
Early artificial limbs were little more than a carved block of wood with a simple hinge. So no one was supposed to notice you'd lost your leg, unless you wanted them to. In the latter half of the century, something changed. Some people making artificial limbs began to think maybe it wasn't about making something that looked like an arm or a leg. Maybe it was more about making something that worked like an arm or a leg. Maybe the function was more important than the aesthetics. In short, they stopped being carpenters and thought about becoming engineers. The clever bit was realizing that one artificial limb couldn't do everything. So they came up with a range to suit different activities.
I have another skating leg. It's kind of like this. My bike leg, my running leg, and my walking leg. So like 4 legs.
4 legs and that one and your real leg, so in total that's 6 legs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which makes you technically an insect.
Yeah, I am an insect.
Today, artificial limbs are so good that disabled and able-bodied athletes are competing against each other. The distinction between them is becoming blurred, and it's causing controversy. Have we got to a point where that might actually be better than the real leg?
Well,
that's a tricky one, isn't it?
Believe it or not, you know, we just took an elite group of athletes to compete in a triathlon in California, and a number of the athletes where we compete against able bodies actually had stopped our athletes after they were done because they were passed by our male and female athletes and wanted to know what was it that they were running on, and is that an advantage, and actually have made remarks to the officials that it's an unfair advantage that they have over them.
It's quite a good measure of how far these have advanced if you're at the point where athletes are complaining that a man with a false leg has an advantage. Not for the first time, the spirit of competition has pushed our technological boundaries. It's as true of artificial limbs as it is of racing cars, and the results are just as impressive.